Screen is visible, students?
No, sir.
It's not visible?
No, sir.
Okay, 1 minute. I think screen is visible, no? Any problem? Screen is
No,
not
sir.
visible?
Screen is.
It is visible, no?
Yes, sir.
Ankita?
Yes, sir,
Prajwal, it is
it's
visible?
yes,
Screen
sir,
is
it's
visible?
visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So we are discussing about the examples on the force due to electric field intensity and the force due to magnetic field intensity on the point charge, right? In the previous class, we have solved an example. Let us take up one more example which we had given for homework. Have you all solved this example, students? A point charge q is equal to 18 nanocoulomb has a velocity of 5 into 10 to 6 meter per second in the direction AV bar is equal to 0.6 AX bar plus 0.75 AY bar plus 0.3 AZ bar. Calculate the magnitude of the force exerted on the charge by the field. First one, E bar is equal to minus 3 AX bar plus 4 AY bar plus 6 AZ bar kilovolts per meter. Second, B bar is equal to minus 3 AX bar plus 4 AY bar plus 6 AZ bar millithesla. Third one, B bar and E bar acting together. Has anybody solved this example? Have you all solved it? Anybody? Pallavi, have you solved it? What about other students? Has anybody solved this example? Ankita, have you solved it?
No, sir.
At least you should have given a try. I asked you to try this example. Sadashiv, Sanya, have you tried it? Sanya? Okay. We'll solve the example. It is similar to what we solved in the previous class. It's on similar lines. Read the question as per the given statement. Q is 18 nanocoulomb. Given Q is equal to 18 nanocoulomb, that is 18 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb. They have given the velocity of the point charge with which it is moving. That is V bar is 5 into 10 raised to 6 meter per second. It is a magnitude, and the direction is given by the unit vector of the velocity. That is AV bar is equal to 0.6 AX bar plus 0.75 AY bar plus 0.3 AZ bar. Hence, when we write the unit vector, it is both the magnitude and the direction. We write the magnitude as V and the direction is AV bar. That is 5 into 10 raised to 6 into the vector that much meter per second is the velocity. First, let us find the magnitude of the force exerted on the charge by the field E bar. That is, electric force exerted by E bar on charge Q is given by Fe bar is equal to Q E bar. Fe bar is equal to Q into E bar. Is it not? This is the formula that we are using for finding the electric, that is electric field intensity. Okay, magnitude of the, electric force. Electric force is given by magnitude of the charge into magnitude of the electric field intensity E bar. That is 18 into 10 raised to minus 9 is the Q value. That multiplied by E bar. E bar is given minus 3 AX bar plus 4 AY bar plus 6 AZ bar into 10 raised to 3. You should not forget this 10 to 10 raised to 3. Just don't read this minus the vector and stop here. Read it completely, whatever units are given in the examination, because the units does matter. If you skip this unit, whatever is given here, then your final answer will be wrong. The unit given here is kilovolt per meter, so it will be into 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to 3, right? Then multiply it, whatever we are getting. If we multiply inside, we will get minus 54 into 10 raised to minus 6 AX bar plus 72 into 10 raised to minus 6 AY bar plus 108 into 10 raised to minus 6 AZ bar, right? That is, I can write it in the form of 10 raised to minus 6. If I take it outside, I'll get minus 54 AX bar plus 72 AY bar plus 108 AZ bar micronewton. If I take 10 raised to minus 6 outside. Next, how to calculate the magnitude, friends? We have to take the square root of minus 54 into 10 raised to minus 6, this we should not leave, the whole square, plus 72 into 10 raised to minus 6, the whole square, plus 108 into 10 raised to minus 6, the whole square. And simplify it, you will get the answer, that is the electric force exerted on the charge by the field E bar. Okay, take down up till this step and find the value of the Fe bar. Tell me the value. How much you're getting, students? Value of Fe bar. What is the value of Fe bar you are getting? Has anybody calculated? Has anybody calculated, students? Sanya, did you calculate? Sanya? Sanket? Sanket? Calculate, Sanket? Shraddha? Shraddha? Are you here, students? Shubham? Vikwadkar? Shubham? What happened? Have you calculated? Karthik? Karthik? Karthik Patil? Are you able to listen to me or not? Karthik? Lohit?
Sir, 140.5.
140.5. Let us check. 140.5844 micronewton. Very good. So that comes out to 140.6 micronewton. Okay. Similarly, next second part of the problem, the magnitude of force exerted by B bar on the charge Q. Find out that magnitude of the force exerted by B bar on the charge Q is given by Fm. That is a magnetic force we have to calculate. It is dependent on the velocity So the formula is Fm bar is equal to Q into V bar into B bar. Q into V bar into B bar. So Q is 18 into 10 raised to minus 9. V bar, we have written it at the beginning, that is 5 into 10 raised to 6 into 0.6 AX bar plus 0.75 AY bar plus 0.3 AZ bar. It is QV bar into B bar. What is the value of B bar? It is given. B bar is minus 3 AX bar plus 4 AY bar plus 6 AZ bar plus 6 AZ bar into 10 raised to minus 3, because they are given it in terms of millitesla, right? Small m means it is milli. Then if they use K, it means kilo. If they are using K, it is kilo into 10 raised to 3. If they are using small m, it is milli into 10 raised to minus 3. This much you have to remember here. Okay, so that is into 10 raised to minus 3. Note down this step and tell me what you will get the value of Fm bar. Fm bar is this equation. Fm bar is equal to Q into V bar into B bar. Note down this equation here, whatever we have written, and then tell me what is the equation for the Fm bar, or what is the value of Fm bar that you are getting. Tell me the answer, students. What is the value of Fm bar that you are getting? We have solved it in the last class. It is similar to that. Done. You know the previous example that we solved. We have solved an example on this in the previous class. Can refer to that. Done, students? Have you all solved it? Anybody getting the answer? Pallavi? Pallavi? Lohit? Lohit,
Sir,
getting the answer, Lohit?
sir, ಮಾಡಾತೀನಿ sir.
ಮಾಡಾತೀರಿ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್, ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್ ಪಾಟೀಲ್, ಸಮರ್ಥ್, ಸಮರ್ಥ್ ಗೌನೇಕರ್, ಸಂಕೇತ್, ಸಂಕೇತ್, ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ, ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ, Sania, have you solved it? Sania, Sadashiv, Ankita, Ankita, solved it?
Sir,
Getting the
solving
answer?
done.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, done. Okay, please tell me the answer. Whatever may be
Sir,
the
I
value.
got, sir.
Yes.
2.79 into 10 raised to minus 4
Okay,
minus 4.05 into 10 raised to minus 4
very good. Then,
and 1 second, sir.
okay, 4.185 is at
4.182
yes.
4.18 into 10 raised to minus 4.
Okay, into 10 raised to minus 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Minus 4, correct. You are right.
Yes.
Okay, that is in the vector form. Fine. Next, we have to find the magnitude of the force. That is, magnitude of the force is the absolute value. It is square root of 297 into 10 raised to. If you express it into 10 raised to minus 6, it will be 297 ax bar minus 405 ay bar plus 418.5 az bar. Okay, in terms of micronewton. So next find out the magnitude of that. That is square root of 297 into 10 raised to minus 6 square plus minus 405 into 10 raised to minus 6 square plus 418.5 into 10 raised to minus 6 square. This comes out to 653.74 micronewton. If you solve this, you will be getting 653.74 micronewtons. Okay, so this is for the FM bar. Then similarly, for the third part of the problem, you have to find the combined effect of the B bar and E bar. Combined effect of magnetic flux density and the electric field intensity, that is given by the summation of F bar is equal to FE bar plus FM bar. That is the addition of the electric force and the magnetic force. We have already got the vector for FE bar in the first part of the problem. It is FE bar vector is minus 54 AX bar plus 72 AY bar plus 108 AZ bar micronewtons. Take it from there, write it. Plus FM bar we have got from the second part of the problem. That is 297 AX bar minus 405 A5 bar plus 418.5 AZ bar into 10 to minus 6 Newton. Write it. Then add the two vectors. Add the two vectors. Whenever you are adding the two vectors, how you have to add? AX coordinate with AX coordinate should be added. Then AY coordinate should be added with AY coordinate of the second vector. AZ coordinate of the first vector should be added with the AZ coordinate of the second vector. If you add that, then the answer will be 243 AX bar minus 333 AY bar plus 526.5 AZ bar micronewton. Then find out the magnitude, that is square root of the vector, that is 243 into 10 to minus 6 square plus minus 333 into 10 to minus 6 square plus 526 into 10 to minus 6 square. The answer that comes out is 668.6855 micronewtons, or simply it will be equal to 668.7 micronewtons on further simplification. Okay, note down these steps quickly. Note down the steps quickly. Is it noted down, students? Shall we proceed? Shall we move further? Is it completed, students? Shall I move to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is force on a differential current element that we have taken up in the previous class. We have got the equation. This equation is important. F is equal to IL into B bar. This you have to remember, which will be helpful in further derivations. F is equal to IL into B bar. Next is force between differential current elements. That is, there are two current elements here. One is I1 DL1 bar, and another current element is I2 DL2 bar. Then what is the force between these two differential current elements? That we are supposed to find out here. The force between differential current elements, that is I1 DL1 bar and I2 DL2 bar. Then the current flowing, as you can see, it is flowing from bottom to top in the current element IDL1, and in the current element IDL2 also the current is flowing from bottom to top. That means the direction of current is same in both the differential current elements. The direction of the current is same in both the differential current elements. Therefore, here the current is flowing through I1 DL1 from bottom to top. If we consider a node here, so it will be flowing in the right side direction, correct? From left to right. Then if I consider a node here at I2 DL2 and the direction of the current is from bottom to top, then the current will be flowing from right to left. What it indicates here? There is a force of attraction between the two. There is a force of attraction between the two differential current elements I1 DL1 bar and I2 DL2 bar. Let us consider the force between the two differential current elements as D of dF1. As it is a force between two differential current elements, we are considering it as D of dF1. Okay, for the differential current element, we are finding the differential force or the force, and hence it is considered as D of dF1 bar or D of dF1. Okay, let us try to derive the equation. Let us consider two current elements I1 DL1 and I2 DL2 as shown in the figure. So these are the two current elements what we are seeing. Note that the directions of I1 and I2 are same. The direction of I1 and I2 are same. As the currents are flowing in same direction through the elements, the force D of dF1 exerted on element I1 DL1. The force D of dF1 exerted on this current element I1 DL1 due to the magnetic flux density BdB due to the current element I2 DL2. What we are finding here, the force exerted on I1 DL1 bar due to the magnetic flux density dB2 due to the current element I2 DL2 bar. Okay, so that is given by, there is a force of attraction between the two here, between the two current elements due to the magnetic field dB2 produced by the other element I2 DL2 is the force of attraction. From the equation of force, just now I mentioned here, it is force is equal to IL into B. Based on this, I can write the equation D8 of DF is equal to I into DL into DB. That is, D of DF1 is equal to I1 DL1 into DB2, because it's a force on the current element I DL1 due to the magnetic flux density DB2, due to the magnetic flux density dB2 of the current element I2 DL2, right? Therefore, it is written as D of dF1 is equal to I1 DL1 into dB2. Take it as equation 1. According to the Biot-Savart's law, we can find the magnetic field produced by current element I2 DL2 in the free space. According to Biot-Savart's law, the magnetic field produced by current element I2 DL2, right? It is the magnetic field produced by the current element I2 dl2, this element. It is given by dB2 is equal to mu naught into dH2. We know that B is equal to mu into H. That is dB2 is equal to mu naught dH2. That is equal to mu naught into dH2 is given by, that is magnetic field intensity. dH is magnetic field intensity. It is given by the equation for the current element I2 dl2. I2 dl2 into unit vector AR21 bar. That is, the source is the second current element and the destination is the first current element. Source to destination. Source is second and the destination is 1. So it is AR21 bar into AR21 bar divided by 4 pi R21 square. That is the distance vector from second element to first element. That is R21 square, 4 pi R21 square. Take it as equation 2. This we have written starting from the Biot-Savart's law, using the Biot-Savart's law. Substituting value of dB2 in equation 1. If I substitute the value of this dB2 in equation number 1, what I get here? D of dF1 will be equal to I1 dL1 bar into dB2 bar. dB2 bar is mu naught into, just substitute this dB2 bar as mu naught into I2 dL2 bar into AR21 bar divided by 4 pi R21 square. I am substituting this. Therefore, we get the equation as D of dF1 bar is equal to mu naught. So it is I1 here, I1 dL1 into this. So it is mu naught into I1 into I2 into dL1 into dL2 into dB2 into AR21 bar divided by 4 pi R21 square. Is it not? That is mu naught into I1 dL1 bar into I2 dL2 bar into AR21 bar divided by 4 pi R21 square. Take it as equation 3. Now, equation 3 represents the force between two current elements. It is similar to the Coulomb's law. It represents the force between the two current elements, that is I1 dL1 bar and I2 dL2 bar. If I integrate the equation number 3 two times, one is with respect to dL1, another one is with respect to the length L2. Okay, if I differentiate it two times, because here we are having D of dF1. If I want F1, that I have to integrate it two times, so as to get F1. By integrating D of dF1 twice, the total force F1 on current element 1 due to current element 2, that is total force F1 on current element 1 due to current element 2 is given by, that is the equation is given by F1 bar will be equal to, integrated two times, constants are mu naught I1 I2 divided by 4 pi, take them outside, integration L1 closed in line integral L1 and closed line integral L2 dL1 bar into dL2 bar into AR21 bar divided by R21 square. Just I am integrating this equation 3 two times, okay, with respect to L1 and L2, because the variables are dL1 and dL2. Take it as equation 4. Similarly, as I have found the equation for F1 bar, that is the force exerted on I1 dL1 bar due to I2 dL2 bar. Similarly, I can find out the force exerted on I2 dL2 bar due to I1 dL1 bar. That I will take it as F2 bar. Force exerted on I2 dL2 bar due to I1 dL1 bar, that I will take it as F2 bar. If I want F2 bar, then I will get simply wherever it is I1, replace it as I2. That wherever it is I2, replace it by I1 because it is property of symmetry. Then wherever it is DL1, replace it by DL2. Wherever it is DL2, replace it by DL1. Wherever it is AR21, replace it by AR12. Wherever it is R21, replace it by R12. Therefore, I will get the equation as F2 bar is equal to mu naught I2 I1 by 4 pi closed line integral L2. Here it was L1 L2. Here it will be L2 L1. So it is mu naught I2 I1 by 4 pi closed line integral L2 closed line integral L1 DL2. Here it is DL1. Here it will be DL2. Here it is DL2. Here it will be DL1. AR21. Here it is AR12. AR12. R21. Here it will be R12 square. Take it as equation 5. Now here we can apply the property of the triple vector product. Okay, if we apply the vector triple product to the above equation, we can show that F2 is equal to minus F1. If we expand this, right, triple product, it is a cross product, DL2 into DL1 into AR12. It's a vector triple product. Then we can show that F2 is equal to minus of F1. What it indicates here? the two forces F2 and F1, they obey the Newton's third law. So what is the Newton's third law? For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. So there is a force F1 and F2 will be equal to minus of the force F1. Okay. Then for the two current carrying conductors, if there are two current carrying conductors, each of length L, there are two current carrying conductors, each of length L, and the force exerted is given by, if there are two current carrying conductors, each of length L, and the distance between them is small d, right? There are two parallel current carrying conductors, each are of length L, and the force exerted between the two current elements, it is given by F is equal to mu I1 I2 L divided by 2 pi d. F is equal to mu I1 I2 L divided by 2 pi d, where small d is the distance between the two parallel conductors or the two current carrying conductors. Okay. So this is all about the force between differential current elements. This is one of the important topics. Many times it has been repeatedly asked in the examination to derive the equation for the force between differential current elements. Whatever previous derivation we did, it is a force on a differential current element. Know the difference, right? Don't think that both are one and the same. The previous derivation that we did in the last class is force on a differential current element. We are finding for a single differential current element. What we have done today, it is the force between differential current elements. That is, we have considered two differential current elements and we have found out the force between the two differential current elements. Okay, that is the difference between what we have done today and what is being done in the previous class. Okay. Take this example, students, we'll solve it quickly. A current element, note down this example. A current element I1 DL1 is equal to 10 raised to minus 4 AZ bar ampere meter is located at P1 of 2, 0, 0, and another current element I2 DL2 that is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 into AX bar minus 2 AY bar plus 3 AZ bar ampere meter is located at P2 of minus 2, 0, 0. Both are in free space. Note that, that is important. Both are in free space. If it is in free space, mu r is equal to 1. Find force exerted on I2 DL2 by I1 DL1 and force exerted on I1 DL1 by I2 DL2. Note down the statement of the problem. Is it taken, students? Note down the statement. Noted. Ankita?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So they have given the current element I1 DL1 that is 10 raised to minus 4 AZ bar ampere meter. It is located at P1 of 2, 0, 0. X is 2, then Y and Z are 0. X is 2, Y and Z are 0. So it is located on the X axis. I1 DL1 current element. Another current element is I2DL2. It is located at, that is 10 raised to minus 6 into, they have given the magnitude of the I2DL2. It is located at P2 of minus 2 comma 0 comma 0. Minus 2 means it is on minus x axis. It is a negative x axis. This is positive x. The other one is minus x, the other side, opposite side. Minus 2 comma 0 comma 0. This is, it is I2 DL2. Both are in free space. We have to find force exerted on I1 I2 DL2 by I1 DL1. Okay. Then second one, force exerted on I1 DL1 by I2 DL2. Both we have to find out. Okay. Let us find out that. First one, magnetic field intensity at P1 due to I1 DL1. We have to find out first. That is magnetic field intensity. It is at P1 due to I1 DL1. It is given by the equation DH1 bar is equal to I1 DL1 into AR12 divided by 4 pi R12 square. I1 DL1, the current element, into AR12 bar unit vector, that is from 1 to 2, source is 1, destination is 2, divided by 4 pi R12 square, that is distance vector 1 to 2. Okay. Now unit vector in the direction of R12 bar. The unit vector in the direction of R12 bar is from P1 to P2. That is direction vector is, distance vector is R12 bar. That is 1 to 2. Destination is P2. Source is P1. Minus 2 minus 2. Minus 2 minus 2, it will be minus 4 AX bar. We have to subtract from destination minus source. Yes, destination minus source. The other coordinates are 0. So they will be, y coordinate will be 0 only. Z coordinate will also be 0. 0 minus 0 into AY bar plus 0 minus 0 into AZ bar. Then magnitude of R12 bar will be equal to square root of minus 4 square. That will be 4 itself, because square root of minus 4 square is square root of 16. That will come out to 4. Then find out the unit vector AR12 bar. That is magnitude vector, magnitude divided by the vector, that is minus 4 AX bar. That is a vector divided by its magnitude. It is 4. This comes out to minus AX bar. Minus AX bar. Then substitute whatever we have found out in the above equation for DH1 bar. It is DH1 bar is equal to I1 DL1 bar. I1 DL1 bar is, what is I1 DL1 bar? 10 raised to minus 4 AZ bar into, right, into AR12 bar. AR12, how much we have found out? AX bar minus AX bar. That divided by 4 pi R12 square. That is 4 pi into R12 is 4, distance vector square. This will be equal to 10 raised to minus 4 AY bar divided by 64 pi ampere per meter. Unit of magnetic field intensity is ampere per meter. Okay. Then find out the value of dB1, that is mu naught into DH1 bar. Mu naught is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into this one DH1 bar, that is 10 raised to minus 4 AY bar divided by 64 pi. Okay, note down up till this step and tell me how much you are getting the value of dB1 bar. Okay, dB1 bar. Tell me the answer.
Sir, dP1 bar is equals to minus 0.25 into 10 raised to minus 11 A bar YT.
Yes. Very good. Excellent. dB1 will be equal to minus 0.0625 into 10 raised to minus 11 AY bar Tesla it is. Okay, answer it is will be in Tesla because it's magnetic flux density. Nice. So once we have found out that, then next step is we have to find the value of F2 bar, that is force exerted on I2 dL2 due to I1 dL1. That is given by F2 is equal to I2 dL2 into dB1. I2 dL2, write it, they have given, plus 10 raised to minus 6 into AX bar minus 2 AY bar plus 3 AZ bar into dB1, just now you have calculated, that is minus 0.0625 into 10 raised to minus 11 AY bar. Here it is very important. How do you multiply AX into A? A is Z. Okay, so it will be equal to AZ, right? AX cross AY will be AZ. So then when you multiply this, you get minus 0.06. In very few examples, we come across the cross product of the two unit vectors, right? Dot product of the unit vector with itself is 1. AZ. Then here AZ cross AY. What will be AZ cross AY? Can you tell me? AZ cross AY? Anybody? Whether it is plus AX or minus AX? Yes, please. Ankita? Ankita, can you tell me whether it is plus AX or minus AX?
Plus
Shubham?
AX.
Not plus AX, it is a minus. It is minus. Look here, I'll tell you the reason. If you go from X to Y, you are getting Z. If you go from Y to Z, you are getting X. If you go from Z to X, you are getting Y. It is cyclic. Cyclic. X, Y, Z. It's just in the form of a cycle. X to Y, Y to Z, Z to X. Now here, what is the product we are getting? We are getting from Z to, here it is X and here it is Y. We have already done that. Y to AY, we have done that. Z to Y. So Z to Y means we are going in the reverse order. Z to Y. So it will be minus AX. If you proceed in the forward direction, cyclic, normal, clockwise, right, you will get it as plus. If you take in the anti-clockwise direction or in the reverse direction, reverse cyclic order, then you will get it as minus. So Z to Y, you will get it as minus AX. Suppose if you take Y to X, it will be minus AZ, like that. Okay, so this will be minus. So minus here and then minus here, both will be plus. So you will get around 0.1875 AX bar minus 0.0625 AZ bar into 10 raised to minus 17 Newton. Okay, so this is how we have to solve the first part of the problem. Similarly, for the second part of the problem, that is force exerted on I1 dL1 by I2 dL2. That is magnetic field intensity at P2 due to I2 dL2 is obtained as dH2 bar is equal to, I'll just solve it. dH2 is equal to, first we have to find the magnetic field intensity at P2. We have to find the, because what we are finding the force exerted on I1 dL1, force exerted on I1 dL1, force exerted on this current element by I2 dL2. First we have to find the magnetic field intensity dH2. Right? That is dH2 is given by I2 dL2 into AR21 bar divided by 4 pi R21 square. R21 is, that is R2 to 1. So source is 2, destination is 1. So I have to take from 1 to 2. 1 to 2. So it will be, this is 1, 2 minus of minus 2, it will be plus 4. 2 minus of minus 2 plus 4. Write it, plus 4 AX bar. R21 magnitude will be square root of 4 square, that is 4. then unit vector AR21 bar will be the vector divided by its magnitude, that comes out to AX bar. Then find DH2 bar, that is DH2 bar, it is in the equation form, that is I2 DL2. I2 DL2 is given, here they have given I2 DL2, it is 10 raised to minus 6 into AX bar minus 2 AY bar plus 3 AZ bar, that into AR21 bar, we have found out that AX bar divided by 4 pi R21. R21 also we have calculated, it is 4 square. Then this will be equal to 10 raised to minus 6 divided by 64 pi, that is AX cross AX is 0, then AY cross AX, AY cross AX, whether it is cyclic or reverse cyclic, whether it is a cyclic order or in the reverse order, Y to X. Here it is Y, here it is X. Y to X, it is in the reverse order. So we'll get it as minus Z. Okay. Then next is Z cross AX. Z cross AX, it is in the cyclic order. X to Y, Y to Z, Z to X. So it will get plus AY. Okay. So if you simplify that, you will get 10 raised to minus 6 divided by 64 pi into 2 AZ bar plus 3 AY bar ampere per meter. Then find dB. B is equal to mu into H. Remember that relation. Accordingly, we will get dB2 is equal to mu naught into dH2, because mu r is 1, right? Mu naught mu r into dH2 it is actually, but as mu r is 1, you will get it as simply mu naught into dH2. Mu naught is 4.10 raised to minus 7. This into whatever you have got it here, that is 10 raised to minus 6 divided by 64.2 AZ bar plus 3 AY bar. If you simplify this, you will be getting 0.0625 10 raised to minus 13 into 2 AZ bar plus 3 AY bar Tesla. Then once we get dB2, we know the force exerted on I1 DL1 due to I2 DL2, it is given by I1 DL1 due to dB2. So you have to multiply I1 DL1 due to dB2, that is dB2 into dB2. I1 DL1 they have given, that is 10 raised to minus 4 AZ bar into dB2, whatever you have calculated, substitute that, that is 0.0625 10 raised to minus 13 into 2 AZ bar plus 3 AY bar. That is, again, if you are multiplying AZ cross AZ, it is 0, then AZ cross AY, Z to Y, it is again reverse order. So it will get minus AX, Z to Y, reverse order. Okay, so it is minus AX. So answer will be 0.0625 10 raised to minus 17 into minus 3 AX bar. That will be equal to minus 1.875 10 raised to minus 18 Newton AX bar. Okay. So this is how we are supposed to solve this particular example, right? Take it for homework. I have already solved it. Then you can cross verify your answers, right? Do it on your own, solve it and cross verify your answers. You can quickly note down the answers, whatever you're getting, DH2, DB2, F1. Okay, quickly note down only the values of DH2, then DB2 and F1, and cross verify. The steps are same as we did it in the first part of the problem. Have you taken down, students? Values of DH2, DB2 and F1. Taken? Karthik, taken? Karthik Patil? Did you take, students? Note down the values?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Right. So solve it, right? In the next class, we'll continue with 1 or 2 examples and then we'll take up the magnetic dipole moment. Okay. Thank you.